I'm huddled up and I'm freezing here, just shaking like...
Right, hi guys, welcome to First Time Fishing with me, Big Bird, to a brilliant episode of Big Bird Chat. Now, we've come all the way up to Doncaster to Halkon Hunt. As you all know from the channel, we rave about Halkon Hunt on here, about how it is some of the best fishing clothing that you can possibly buy that's out there. The standards are absolutely exceptional. But we've come today to have a chat to Managing Director, England feeder team angler and all-round match fishing magician, Oliver Scotthorne. Here he is. How are you, mate?
And
thanks for the Yorkshire tea.
Between my dad and Sandra and out restaurant then.
No, we're not going to do any of that. We're not going to do any of that. We've got a lovely Yorkshire tea as well. Thank you very much for that. Basically, we've just come up to say hello to you. We're going to be having our team first time fishing branding. On some Halkon Hunt clothing, which we're very grateful for, and we're going to have a specialist designing it for us, which we're really excited about. So thank you for being part of that. But what I really want to know is brains behind the angler in you. How on earth did you first start fishing?
I think same as a lot of people. Obviously, my dad took me fishing when I was probably 5-6 years old.
Yeah.
Went probably 5 or 6 times with my father. Didn't really enjoy it. Enjoyed it, but not to the point where I wanted to go every week. When I was like, I want to say 10 or 11, my mate who lived the next village on from me wanted to go fishing. Obviously, I've got some fishing gear because of my dad and everything else, and my mum and things. So it was like, yeah, we'll go fishing. So we used to go fishing every week then. When the 6-week orders come round, we go fishing every day. And I got to like 12 and an opportunity to come up to join the junior team. Everything just snowballed from there then, really. And then it become obviously more than an hobby, more of a passion. And you want to go every week. Because I used to play football when I was a kid. Used to do all things you do when you're a kid, like, so.
Was there a time where you stopped fishing and sort of life took over? And
I've never really stopped fishing, but stopping going as much. So probably cut down to once or twice a month through being 21 up to being like 26, 27.
I won't lie, it's normally 16, 17 for me. There's far more other things that are going on in your life, isn't there, around there?
Luckily, what we used to do we used to go fishing, go out, stay out, and then get picked up.
Right.
And then go fishing again.
Yeah.
That's how it used to be back then, back in there.
Happy days. You've obviously fished with the Barnsley team, Barnsley match fishing team, which the team to beat on the match fishing scene, have been for a few years now. What's that like? What's it like being part of such a like really established match fishing team? It's a massively high standard, isn't it?
Yeah, I think what a lot of people not necessarily get confused about is the core of the team, obviously myself included. We're all a very similar age group. You look at Matt, James, Frankie, myself, Gavin, we're all the same age.
Yeah.
So we've actually grown up together fishing, which obviously then gels us together more of a team because we all understand each other. Obviously Lee Kerry's as captain's only a little bit older than what we are. And then obviously my dad's like the father figure for everybody and he's like knows everything, so we all come together really well. I think that's the main thing about a team. You look at all the best teams, a lot of them are all gel together as friends as well.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot for that, isn't there? There's a lot to say about that, about knowing each other, knowing everybody's strengths and everything like that when it comes to the team. And that's probably your edge, I think, really, with that sort of thing. If you were to have one type of fishing that you could do for the rest of your life, only the one, right? Andy May said, I love all aspects of it. He was really naughty, Andy May was. He just didn't, he went around the question. But I'm only accepting one method of fishing.
That's hard, isn't it? Probably waggler fishing.
You love it?
Yeah, waggler fishing.
Pellet waggler?
No, waggler fishing.
Just waggler?
So you go on, with a waggler, you can go on a river, you can fish a commercial, you can do everything with a waggler, can't you?
We haven't had many European staged matches in England, have we?
No, we haven't.
And I know recently it's happened over at Barnsley, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And you were part of the England feeder team for that match.
Yes, I was.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Obviously, I'm quite lucky that I've got quite a lot of international experience anyway via under 23s, under 16s and the club team. With Barnsley, we go off some club championship. So stepping into it wasn't really a big change for me because I'm used to it. Obviously, it being on home soil and things, it makes it completely different. My team, the England Blue team, had a brilliant first 2 days, and we're particularly probably a little bit of lack of experience from all of us, myself included. We just failed a bit on last day, unfortunately. Don't get me wrong, coming fourth was an incredible experience, but coming fourth when you've been sixth all the way through it's a better feeling than coming fourth after you've been second for 2 days.
yeah.
And don't get me wrong, the 3 teams that beat that was the Hungarian team, what are world number 1.
Yeah.
The main England feeder team, what are absolutely phenomenal.
They were incredible on that day, weren't they?
Oh, fantastic. And then the Czech team, again, were a full international team. So all of a sudden, fourth were probably his target as such a inexperienced team.
Yeah. It's no mean feat, mate. I think you're giving yourself the credit.
I know, but because we were second after 2 days, you're just like, just little things. And we've obviously all been out phone since, and we were like, should have done this, could have done that.
Yeah.
But that's the good thing about team fishing, because I always feel like team fishing is you can work your ass off and come sixth in your section, and it becomes relevant. Whereas individual fishing, sixth in the section is not good enough.
Yeah.
So that's the advertisement for team fishing for me, especially.
Yeah. I think in this country we have a bit of a lack of practice with the European rules and regulations, don't we? They're a lot different. Just explain to some of the subscribers here just how that feeder match and that team match sort of differs to what we might do in this country.
A lot of it's bait limits. Bait limits is probably where people get confused on. So if you compare it to Whiteacres, or even Moorlands Farm, where there's strict bait limits in place, you can only have 8 pints of said product, or 8 pints of said bait to use on that match. It's same in international fishing, you can only have X amount of this bait. So as soon as you get your head around that, it's fairly simple. There's little things like bait checks, which if fisheries have got rules in place for bait limits and they're checking everybody, coming onto an international match, it'd be the same, wouldn't it? You're only getting your bait checked. Well, like having your pellets checked. As long as you're not cheating, it don't matter.
And am I right thinking is it mainly only live bait?
Yes. So maggots, casters, worms and bloodworm and joker, you're allowed 2.5 litres of that bait. So within that, you can only have half a litre of worms and half a litre of joker. And
there's ground bait limits as well, is there?
Yes, so you can have 15 litres of ground bait.
15 litres?
But you're fishing a feeder.
Yeah.
So, obviously on pole events, when we go on pole matches, then you allow 20 litres of ground bait, but you might be putting 10-15 litres in at start. So it is mind exploding, but it's not the same as you've got a 2 kilo limit at X fishery. And then all of a sudden you can only have 4 pints of maggots and casters. It's same thing, but it costs this speaking in litres and stuff like that, it gets a little bit confusing. I think that's where people get a bit confused about it all.
Well, we've obviously come up to Halkon Hunt to your headquarters here today. We're just going to have a quick look around a little bit later. But tell me about how it started, how you got involved with it, and let's just hear about how it sort of came about.
I think obviously to get the full story, I'll have to go to Sandra. She obviously started business 42 years ago. She actually started off making just one jacket. That's obviously what she's told me. Sold this jacket, then got enough money to make another 2 jackets, so on and built up till eventually she were above. You've heard of Tommy's shop, haven't you? Tommy's have a shop in Doncaster. She were above Tommy's shop, making jackets, and it's grown and grown and grown till where we are today, realistically.
You obviously provide clothing for a number of tackle companies, mainly your affiliation with Daiwa, Guru and stuff like that. So what is it that sets Halkon Hunt? Because I think they're the best, and I'm not just saying that to blow smoke, but genuinely, I think they're the best. The way that the Gore-Tex system works and how you iron the seams and everything so that it's completely waterproof, and all the checks that you have to do, and that's proper complex, isn't it? It's complex to be able to get that license and that affiliation with Gore-Tex. But what is it that sets out Halkon Hunt clothing to what I think's better than the rest of the market that's out there?
I want to use a statement when I first come across here, what Sandra gave me.
Okay.
So We treat every single set like you're buying your wedding dress.
Really?
That's what level of.
Should we just get Sandra in? I think we just need to get Sandra on the chair, don't we?
Yeah. Every single item we make, we try and put as best care and attention to everything. So we don't rush things. We make sure things are done right first time, and make sure we try and give you a good customer service. So it's almost like buying a wedding dress.
And I can completely believe you, just from the small amount of time that we've spent here at the HQ, in looking at all the seamstress, like doing all of the sewing work and everything, the intricate details that they're all going into, it just looks exceptional and it's brilliant. And what we'll do is we'll just have a quick tour after, and we'll do that in a separate video. So we like to pick the heads of all of our pro anglers that we have on Big Bird Chat. You've obviously got the experience on the match scene and the international scene. First of all, I'd like 3 tips on that you would give to any angler who's just starting.
Try and go with your mates.
Yeah.
That's massive, because when there's more of you, you're all going to learn quicker and you're going to enjoy it more.
And that's going back to your ethics of the whole Barnsley team as well, isn't it? You were all growing up at the same time and you all know each other.
But even if I strip it back further than that, my father's 5 times world champion, but I didn't want to go fishing until I started going with my mate.
Yeah.
It makes a completely different. Also, then the competitive side comes out and things like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So go with your mates. Try and go places where you're going to catch some fish. You don't want to go on a flooded river dam in November. Because you're not going to catch out.
I completely did the wrong thing. I completely did the wrong thing with my now 8-year-old when he was 5, and I just took him down to the local canal, because that's what they always used to do back in the day and everything. There weren't the commercials around, so I took him down to the canal. And we were sat there for an hour in winter, and we didn't have a bite. And suddenly he said, I don't want to go fishing again.
No, I know.
And you always have to have that bug, don't you, of that first catch. And but then as soon as I took him to like a commercial fishery at Tunnel Barn Farm, say, F1 fishing, you can get them all year round. And I've stuck a little bit of elastic on the end of like a whip, and then it pulled the elastic out. It was absolutely buzzing. So I completely get you there.
Yeah, that's main thing. You've got to get some advice. We used to go down to a local canal in Barnsley called Cut, we used to call it. It's like where Worsby Res is, there's like a little canal section. Yeah. We go on Res, never catch out. But we go on canal, we used to catch some little perch, or random thing, fuel rod. And that's how it grew from there. So it's getting bites, that's the main thing. You can't enjoy something if it's not happening. Get some bites, and last thing, just enjoy it. Enjoy it outside, outdoors. You're going to see things, and you're going to have some stories with other anglers and things what you're never going to get in any other sport. And I've been so lucky. I'm over 30-year-old, and the places I've been because of fishing, there'd be no other thing I could have done what could have had that experience. So I've been to like Serbia and places like that. Like, you got to take the advantages of it as well.
I think it's definitely something now that we've realised. It comes out in most of the Big Bird Chats when we ask this about, tablets, YouTube. I know we're on YouTube now, but we're there's so much more, gaming and everything where we don't get out of the house, we don't go and investigate the environment and do things, and it's so primal fishing.
You've got to look at the advantages of it though as well. I mean, it's not like it was when we were kids. Like, you didn't know what you were doing, and unless you knew somebody. I really look at a position where I didn't know somebody who were very good, but you can learn anything now. If you need to know how to tie a hook up, if you need to know how to load a method feeder up, how to set a feeder up, you can just go on YouTube and learn how to do it in seconds, which is brilliant. And I think if there's more and more people what start going fishing, it's only going to be better for fishing.
And we were saying about that earlier, weren't we, about method feeder fishing or bomb fishing, how it's almost like an automatic hooking rig, isn't it? And you can literally set the trap, leave it, have a chat with your mates and everything, and then the tip goes round and then you're on to it, isn't it?
No, it's brilliant.
You were just saying you didn't really like it if it was night fishing and the bite alarms are going off and it's the middle of winter.
I can remember going with my mates when I was I'd been like 15 or something, going night fishing a couple of times, and they were like, this is not for me, this. Not for me. Let's do it. Like, bite alarm goes off at 2:30 in the morning, and it's a 12-ounce skimmer. Not ideal. But like, we're meant to chuck it back in.
Nightmare. So we've got the beginner tips. Now give us from your experience, 3 tips for the match club angler. There's someone who's trying to take their fishing just that little bit further and try and maybe get to, you know, those national competitions and trying to get further in those.
I think this is going to sound really daft. I was listening to Andy Bennett's podcast earlier on, the new one, and he hit nail on the head for me. He won 23 finals before he won one.
23?
23 finals before he won one.
Wow.
Well, if you strip that back and put it into open matches or even qualifiers, how many qualifiers you got to fish before you win one? Yeah. Don't get up, keep going. Things happen like randomly, or not randomly, they just all of a sudden come together at once. Every time I've qualified for a big final, it's like, oh my God, it's just happened. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you can have a month where you are struggling.
Still get the buzz?
Yeah, of course you do. Of course you do. It's no better, is there? You know, when you win a match, you're still happy, aren't you? You might go on a 20 peg knock up and you win it. You're still happy.
Do.
You can't deny it. But at the end of the day, we're fishing matches because we're all competitive. Yeah. Simple as that, isn't it? Yeah. Go to every peg with an open mind. End of the day, you're not fishing against everybody around you. You're fishing against fish. So yeah, you're right. Try and catch them. There'll be a way and a means to catching them, whether it's just such little differences. Just
finding it, innit? Finding what they want.
Yeah, being confident is, that's bad, but that's what I use my last one. Be confident. Yeah, be confident that what you do, your approach is right. A lot of the time, fishing is mindset. Be confident. You are going to win. You are going to catch some fish. You're going to have a good time.
Brilliant. Well, look, I really, really appreciate your time today.
No problem.
And it's been an absolute eye-opener coming and having a look around the factory. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your knowledge. Thank you for sorting us out and, you know, helping us design our clothing and stuff, which we'll have up on the channel shortly. Just really, really appreciate it. So
no problem.
All the best, buddy. All right. So thank you ever so much for today. Do you want to finish off the video?
If you're fishing this weekend, tight lines.
There we go. Tight lines.